It's a beautiful day, hey, hey, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful... I don't know the rest of the words to that song, so it's quite pointless singing it, but it is a beautiful day. I'm going to go for a ride. I've got to do the tyres. You know this little wheel I'm always moaning about? Well, I've decided not to moan about it anymore. It does a perfectly good job, does what it's meant to do, and what's the point of changing it? So I'm not going to change it. In fact, I bought two more of them. So I'm just going to get a tyre. I mean, I didn't need two more, I just needed one spare, but you know, it was the deal that came with it. This is the original wheel that came with the Sidecar, and that's about 11 inches. So it's not that, look, you can see it's not that much difference. So that's my decision. I've spent too much time worrying and thinking about changing that wheel, and it's, you know, somebody once said to me, John, if you didn't have anything to worry about, you'd invent something. And I think they're quite right. It just seems to be my nature. But that's it for now. That is the wheel, and that's how it's going to stay. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in the future, but at the moment, perfectly adequate. It's done 70 miles an hour, no trouble. The whole ensemble rides very nicely. That's French, you know, ensemble. Anyway, I'm just going to do these tyres, and then I'm going out for a, not far, just a couple of times around the block. When I say round the block here, the block takes about 7 miles. So if I do that twice, that'll be lovely. That'll get her warmed up nicely. But what a beautiful day. I can't believe it. It's supposed to be raining according to my phone. Yeah, the Anne and Dan are Andy and Dan are coming tomorrow, and they're picking her up and taking her for her MOT. Very kind of them. I mean, I could take, but they know the guy, and they offered, so yeah, one less thing to worry about. I think we might need a new back tyre. Apart from that, I think she's all right. Apart from that little niggle I have with the gears, which I take her out now. I'll see if I'm right or wrong. Right. I'm not leaving the window open, Mia, because you'll get too cold. Where's my gloves? The more you slip sliding away. I'm worried about this, about my beard. I film through my beard. I've got the microphone stuck on my beard. But sometimes the beard obstructs the camera lens, which is a bit horrible, doesn't it? Right, I haven't started her up, so she's not warmed up. I suppose I better do that. too cold today. It's about 44 degrees Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit, which is you see that it's 40 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 5 centigrade, so it's just on my limit going out. I'm just going to go around the block a couple of times. Noise when it does that. You ready, Mia? See if we can beat the barrier. No, it's no good. I've got to do something about this. This beard is now, this microphone is now pulling on my beard. Why is that happening? That's better. Carry on, darling. Guess who that is? That is the lady who walks. I called her darling. And she smiled at me. She doesn't usually acknowledge people. Oh yeah, I've still got it. Put my goggles down. Coming this way. Come on, I want to beat the bloody barrier. Whoa. There's something wrong with the gears. Yeah, wouldn't go into gear that time. Now it's all right again. Back in the sun. I'm not whinging. I'm still worried about those gears. I've got to get the lads to have a look at that. Well, Dan's going to ride it tomorrow, so he'll be able to suss it out. Well, I've just changed down gear, no bother then. What the hell is going on? I don't know what it is. Puts me off riding it when that happens. I don't want to break down far from home. I mean, even though I've got all the breakdown cover, stuff like that, but who wants to break down on a cold day like this? In the studio last night till about 2 o'clock in the morning, painting. And then I went to bed about, well, I was reading a book for a while on my Kindle. Went to sleep at about 4 o'clock, and then I woke up about 9, I think, 8:30, and the sun was shining. Couldn't believe it. I thought, what is that yellow disc in the sky? And then I remembered the bloody sun. Oh, it's a little bit late there, mate. Boys are fishing on the village pond. I love looking at these oak trees. I hope you can see them. They're bare branches. Mind you, I like them better when they've got their leaves on, because it means it's summer, doesn't it? These are a godsend, these goggles I'm wearing. They're sort of tinted, and they're called Giants. They fit over my glasses, my ordinary glasses. It's not just the sun, it's the damp roads. With the sun shining on the damp roads. You know that feeling, don't you? here and change the camera position. Hope I don't bugger the gears up. See, I'm worried about them. Right, well, here goes my attempt at recording a voiceover. Oh, now I've started, I can see young George is coming in to see me, which is a bit of a nuisance because I'm doing a voiceover, George, over this thing. So luckily you don't interrupt much. I've got about 16 minutes of it. Yes, don't talk, George, I'm doing a voiceover. You're doing what? You're doing a workout? Oh right, yes, okay. George is going off to his gym to do a bit of a workout. Then we've got to cut logs. But by then, hopefully I'll have done this. Could you shut the door, George, to keep the warmth in? Thank you very much. Yeah, so here I am. I've done 1 minute and 5 seconds so far, and I've got a total of 16 minutes and 27 to cover. I expect about, here I am passing a lady on a 3-wheeled bike. The roads are a little bit damp. There's Barnum Windmill on my right. Nice, doesn't it? Going through a little forest of trees there. Yes, as I say, the trees look lovely at this time of year, especially the oak trees, I find. Yeah, we're now in a 40-mile-an-hour zone. Excuse me. I hope I'm doing 40 and not too much. Well, I won't be going too fast. It's a little bit slippery underfoot. Yeah, we're coming down to, well, I don't know what it's called really. It's the outskirts of Yapton now. Yapton being the village I live in. Or I live on the outskirts of the village actually. At North End. 30-mile-an-hour zone here. Look how shiny the road is.
very, very pleased I've got my dark goggles on. I've got no idea if this is working at all, but what can I do? Oh, now Mia's come in. Oh, and the cat. They've both come in to join me. Wondering who I'm talking to, perhaps. Well, here we are coming in to the village. Carpet shop on your right there. On the left here at the corner of the junction there used to be a pub. It's called the Black Dog, and then it changed its name to the Olive Branch when it went a little bit upmarket, and it's no longer there. On the right, that building on the right used to be a pub also. That was called the Shoulder of Mutton and Cucumber. That too no longer a pub. Very, very sad. There's another pub which we won't be passing at the other outskirts of the village, and that's called the Lamb, and that too has now gone. So from having 4 pubs in this little village, we now have one which is up near, well, the outskirts again of the village, near where I live, up North End. That's called the Maypole. I haven't been in there for ages and ages, and don't even know if it's still open during this pandemic business. Now we're heading out of Yapton village, not quite. But these are all new houses on the right. And up here, that's an old house. This is an old house, very old house. But behind it are all modern houses, new housing estates built. Now we're coming to the outskirts of the village. Now we're approaching called Ford. It's Ford Parish now. I hope you can hear me over the noise, the wind noise. The microphone I discovered when I got home is actually hanging down by my legs. My leg. This is Ford, and that's on your left now is the main part of Ford Airfield, which is no longer an airfield. They have a market there and a car boot sale weekends. Yeah, it's quite a busy airfield at one time, and then they built houses. People came to live nearby and started complaining that there was an airfield there and it was too noisy. Well, why the hell did they move there in the first place? They must have known there was an airfield there when they moved. And they moved into the area. Honestly, I just don't understand some people. It's a bit like people who move next to pubs and they complain about the music. Funny old world. Still, don't have to worry about that now in my village because most of the pubs are gone. The double bend leads down to the main road. The sky looks nice, doesn't it? So nice that it's not raining. Honestly, it just seems to rain most of the time these days. We are coming up to the, I think this is the main road, and it's the A259, I believe that's the number. I've only lived here about 40 years, so I can't be sure. There's a slip road here. Some people stop, you know, and they don't use the slip road, they just stop at the end there. This is actually an accident black spot. There have been several deaths at that corner I just came out of. sadly. There's a motorbike over there. I think I nodded to him. And this is the road that leads to, this is the road between Bognor Regis and Littlehampton. I think my mirror needs a bit of a clean, doesn't it? Now we're coming up to the area known as Climping. A bit tight there. I don't want to try and get through that gap. I don't think I'll actually make it without hitting the curb. Better safe than sorry. I'm going to turn left here. Please, Mia, I'm trying to record here. Quiet, please. I don't know what she's barking at. It's probably George. He's doing his exercises. That'll do, Mia. Thank you. I've got the message. All you can hear is the wind noise, isn't it? You can't even hear the engine. It's Climping Church. Oh, we can't see it, we've gone past. On the right. And on your right still, that's the main part of the prison. That's the chapel there. Ford Open Prison. I noticed they've put a new fence around it with spikes and stuff, but I think you could just actually walk out the front gates. I think a lot of people get joeys thrown over the fence. A joey is a parcel. Some of the cons get family members to come at night, go to the fence and throw a parcel over. Yeah, they're called joeys. I remember that from my days as a guest of Her Majesty. It's a nice car. Is it a Ferrari? No idea. Now we're coming up to, well, funny enough, this area is still called Ford, even though we've travelled several miles since I told you we were at Ford. If I went straight on it, come down to the Ford railway station and the level crossing there, but I'm turning left here. And I've been talking for about 11 minutes now and 2 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 I mean. Look at that. Oh yes, at this stage I'm talking about that big chemtrail up in the sky. And I say, oh dear, Bill Gates has been busy today, putting his chemicals into the air. Some people think that that's what's causing all the rain. That these are actually chemtrails. I don't know if there's any truth in that, but I've noticed that a lot of the things that the conspiracy theorists, or so-called conspiracy theorists, were saying at the beginning, I noticed a lot of what they said seemed to be coming true. Excuse me. As regards vaccines, how many you're going to need, and vaccine passports and stuff like that. Everyone laughed at them at first. I'm not laughing now. That was a joke. Do you remember that joke, Bob Monkhouse joke? People laughed when I told them I was going to be a comedian. Well, they're not laughing now. Here we are, going past that place on your left is the Peregrines. Used to be a barn, an old barn. Now it's offices. On the right, it's down there, is where I go when I walk near. And right across there to your right in the far corner, that's where I live. My bit of land. Roads are very wet and quite muddy still. There was a lot of mud on the road a couple of days ago from the building sites. So Yapton has become one vast building site, if you ask me. Hardly a village anymore, more like a big estate. And there's hundreds more houses being built. Especially these new ones on my left here, that's where I used to go across there with the dog walking as well. And I actually painted a scene from the left-hand side, what you're looking at now, looking across to the right. I painted that before they put those houses there. Quite a nice scene, looking across to the houses that are council houses that are already there. Down that lane in front of us, that's a bridleway. Bottom of that is the Maypole pub. You might be able to read the sign there. And at this stage I'm mentioning, so much traffic, it's like Piccadilly Circus here. But of course, if you live in town, you can hear me there. If you live in town, you'll know it's very, very quiet around here compared to town. Although I must say, it's getting busier and busier with traffic. Here we are in my road again. East Bank on the right there. There's an old cottage. And turn right into my drive. Ahead of us is where the level crossing is. And there's a painting of the horse that I did, and people like to see that, I think. One lady wanted to buy it. It's kind of permanently there now. These cars blocking the entrance a little bit. Here we are home. And I've managed to talk almost non-stop so far for 15.5 minutes. Talking God knows what, but I've done it. And now I just turn around and I'll leave her there, and I'll get Lee, my son-in-law Lee, give me a push backwards into the garage. Well, thanks for joining me. I might say a bit more, you'll be able to hear it on the mic now. But yeah, it's been a pleasure having you along, and I hope you don't mind me rabbiting on. Take care, everyone. Bye.
We're back here. Hope you enjoyed that. Very invigorating. My hands are too cold to carry on. Thanks for coming with us. See you again soon.